Thank you so much for being here with us today. We're grateful for your continued support, and we'd like to extend our warmest wishes for your health and well-being. We pour our hearts into every video, and your engagement truly makes it all worthwhile. If you find this content helpful, please subscribe to the Jim Rohn Insights channel and join our community. Your support allows us to continue creating content that we hope inspires and motivates you. The power of dreams. Not the kind you have when you're asleep, but the ones that light a fire in you when you're awake. Your dream is the thing that makes you get up in the morning and keeps you going when life gets tough. Without a dream, life can feel empty, like you're just going through the motions. But when you have one, everything changes. Today, we're diving into why having a dream is so important. We'll talk about how it gives you direction, fuels your energy, and helps you push past challenges. If you've ever felt stuck, unmotivated, or unsure about what's next, stick around. This could be the spark that helps you see things differently. By the end of this, you'll understand why having a dream isn't just nice, it's necessary. And more importantly, you'll feel inspired to take that first step toward making it real. So, let's get started. 1. A dream builds confidence in yourself. A dream pushes you to grow. It pushes you to become more. And here's something incredible about growth: it builds confidence. When you take steps towards your dream, even small ones, you start to see progress. Every bit of progress makes you feel stronger, it makes you believe in yourself a little more. But, let's be honest, it's not always easy. There are days when the dream feels too far away, when the road ahead looks too hard. That's when most people quit. They stop chasing their dream because they think it's impossible. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to give up because you know that the hard days are part of the process. They're what make the dream worth it. The truth is, without a dream, life gets hard in a different way. It feels stuck. It feels like you're just surviving instead of living. You might have a good job or a comfortable routine, but deep down, you know something's missing. That's what a dream fills. It gives your life meaning. Having a dream also shows you what you're made of. You might not feel strong right now, you might think, I don't have what it takes. But when you start working towards your dream, you discover strength you didn't know you had. You face challenges and instead of backing down, you rise to meet them. It's like this: when you push yourself to do something you've never done before, you learn what you're capable of. Maybe you're scared at first. Maybe you're not sure if you can do it. But then you try. And even if it's not perfect, even if you stumble along the way, you realize, I can do this. I can handle this. That's where confidence comes from. Not from avoiding challenges, but from facing them head on. Here's another powerful thing about dreams: they turn ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. You don't have to be born into the perfect circumstances to live a meaningful life. You don't need special talent or luck. All you need is a vision of what's possible and the courage to chase it. Think about it. Some of the most inspiring people in the world didn't start out with all the answers. They started with a dream. They started with a belief that they could make something more of their lives. And then they put in the work. That's the key. A dream doesn't come true on its own. It takes effort. It takes discipline. But here's the good news: when you're working towards something you care about, the hard work doesn't feel so hard. It feels worth it. Even on the tough days, you know you're doing something meaningful. Dreams also give you a sense of pride. When you're working toward a goal, you start to feel proud of yourself, not because you've already achieved it, but because you're making progress. You're putting in the effort, and that effort makes you feel good about who you are. There's something special about waking up in the morning and knowing you're working towards something bigger than yourself. It gives your life purpose. It gives you a reason to push through the challenges. And here's the amazing part: when you chase your dream, you inspire others. People see what you're doing and it sparks something in them. They start to believe that they can chase their own dreams too. That's the ripple effect of living with purpose. So, where do you start? You start where you are, with what you have. Don't wait for the perfect moment because there's no such thing. Don't wait until you feel ready because you might never feel ready. The key is to start anyway. Write down your dream. Be clear about what you want. Then, break it down into small, manageable steps. Don't worry about how far away the goal seems. Just focus on the next step. And then, take it. It doesn't matter how small that first step is. What matters is that you take it. Because once you do, you'll start to build momentum. You'll start to see progress, and that progress will give you the energy to keep going. Life without a dream can feel like wandering. You're alive, but you're not really living. But when you have a dream, you have a destination. You have a reason to keep moving forward, no matter what. And here's what I want you to remember: you're capable of more than you know. You have the ability to do great things, but it starts with believing in yourself. It starts with taking that first step toward your dream. So, don't hold back. Don't let fear or doubt stop you. Your dream is worth it, and so are you. Take that step today. Start building the life you want. 2. Dreams make you stronger in hard times. Life isn't always easy, is it? Some days, it feels like everything's going wrong. Maybe you're facing challenges at work, problems at home, or struggles that just won't seem to go away. And when life throws these challenges at you, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to want to give up. But here's something I want you to remember: your dream can make you stronger, especially when times are tough. Now, I'm not saying that a dream will make life easy. It won't. Challenges will still come. But when you have a dream, it gives you something to hold on to. It gives you a reason to keep going when everything else seems to be falling apart. Think about it for a second. When you're struggling, the first thing that can get you through is knowing that you're working towards something that matters. You're not just facing problems for the sake of facing them, you're fighting for something bigger. You're working for something that can change your life and maybe even the lives of those around you. That's why dreams are so powerful. They can pull you through the toughest times. When things are difficult, a dream becomes like a compass. It helps you stay on track. It keeps you focused on what's ahead instead of just on what's going wrong right now. And here's the best part: when you push through the tough times and keep working toward your dream, you grow. You get stronger. It's like building muscle. The more weight you lift, the stronger your muscles get. The more challenges you face, the stronger you become if you have a dream to push you through. Imagine you're running a race. The finish line is in sight, but you're tired. Your legs are burning. Your breath is short, and you feel like giving up. But then you remember why you're running. Maybe it's for your family, maybe it's for your future, or maybe it's because you promised yourself that you wouldn't quit. Whatever the reason, that dream you're chasing is the thing that keeps you moving. Dreams give you the strength to keep going when you feel like stopping. They remind you that the struggle is worth it. They remind you that there's something waiting for you on the other side. Let me ask you, when you're working towards something meaningful, don't you feel a little different? Don't you feel like you can handle the tough stuff a little bit better? That's what a dream does for you. It gives you perspective. It helps you see that the hard times aren't permanent. They're temporary. And if you keep your eyes on the prize, you can get through anything. In those difficult moments, your dream gives you the strength to rise above. It makes you resilient. Resilience is the ability to bounce back when life knocks you down. Without a dream, it's easy to stay down. You think, what's the point? Why bother? But with a dream, you know you have a reason to get up. You know that every setback is just a setup for a comeback. Think about the times in your life when things weren't going right. Maybe you lost a job or had a relationship fall apart or faced a health scare. If you didn't have a dream, it would have been easy to feel like everything was over. But if you had a dream, you probably thought, okay, this is tough, but I'm not giving up. I've got something I'm working toward, and I'll find a way to keep moving. It's the dream that makes the difference. When you're facing difficult circumstances, a dream reminds you that there's more to life than what's happening right now. It gives you a reason to keep pushing. It tells you that this challenge, this obstacle, this moment of pain is just a small part of your bigger journey. And let's be honest, life will knock you down sometimes. It's just a fact. But when you have a dream, you get back up quicker. You don't stay down because you know that something better is waiting for you. You have a vision that pulls you through, a reason that keeps you going. But here's the catch, dreams don't always work out the way you expect them to. There will be detours, and there will be setbacks. Sometimes you'll feel like your dream is slipping away. But here's the secret, the toughest moments in your life are often the ones that shape you the most. They force you to grow. They force you to find strength you didn't even know you had. If you think about any successful person you admire, you'll realize that their success didn't come without hardship. They faced obstacles. They failed. They struggled. But they kept going. They held on to their dreams, and that's what made them stronger. When times are tough, your dream makes you focus on what's possible instead of what's hard. You stop complaining about what's going wrong and you start finding solutions. Your dream forces you to think bigger. It forces you to look at the bigger picture and realize that the difficulties you're facing are only temporary. Dreams also make you resourceful. When you don't have everything you need to succeed, you get creative. You find new ways to make things work. You learn new skills. You push yourself to think outside the box. Without a dream, you might give up too soon. But with a dream, you keep searching for ways to make things happen. One of the most important things a dream can do for you is to help you learn how to handle disappointment. Disappointment is part of life, we all face it. But when you have a dream, you can handle it better. Instead of letting disappointment stop you, you use it as fuel to keep going. You say to yourself, this didn't work out, but I'm not quitting. I've still got my dream, and I'm still going for it. So, when you're facing hard times, remember this, your dream can make you stronger. It can give you the strength to keep going. It can help you rise above the challenges, bounce back from setbacks, and keep moving toward what you really want. It doesn't matter how hard things get, if you have a dream, you can get through anything. You have the power inside you to overcome the toughest obstacles. You just need to keep your eyes on the prize and never let go of that dream. Your dream isn't just a nice idea, it's your lifeline. It's what will get you through the rough patches and what will help you grow stronger in the process. So, don't let the hard times break you. Let them build you. Let your dream pull you through and know that every struggle you face is making you stronger. Keep going. Keep fighting. And remember, you're stronger than you think. 3. Life without a dream feels stuck. You know, there's a feeling that everyone has experienced at one time or another. It's that feeling of being stuck. You wake up in the morning, do your daily routine, go through the motions, and at the end of the day, you realize you haven't really moved forward. The days pass, but you're still in the same spot you were when you woke up. It's like you're stuck in neutral, just spinning your wheels and going nowhere. I'm sure you've been there, maybe even right now. It's easy to feel like you're just existing, not really living. But here's the thing, life without a dream is the place where you get stuck. And the problem with being stuck is that it's hard to see a way out when you're right in the middle of it. But the truth is, if you're not chasing something, if you don't have something you're working toward, then life becomes a series of days that blend together. It becomes routine, predictable, and in many ways, kind of empty. You wake up, you work, you eat, you sleep, and then you repeat. You start to feel like you're just drifting through life, not really doing anything meaningful. Without a dream, everything starts to feel like a burden. You don't have the energy or motivation to push forward. You start to think, what's the point? What am I even working toward? And when that question starts creeping into your mind, that's when things start to feel heavy. That's when you start feeling stuck. But when you have a dream, everything changes. A dream isn't just some abstract idea, it's the thing that pulls you out of bed in the morning. It's the thing that makes you excited to take on the day, even when things are tough. A dream gives you direction. It gives you purpose. And when you have purpose, you can't help but move forward. You stop feeling like you're just passing time and you start feeling like you're building something. Every day becomes a step towards something meaningful. Without a dream, you can't grow. You're stuck in the same place, doing the same things, living the same life. But a dream forces you to grow. It pushes you to go further, do more, and reach higher. It's like a light shining in front of you, guiding you towards something greater. And even when the road is tough, that light is enough to keep you going. The thing about a dream is that it gives you a reason to keep moving, even when things get tough. When you don't have a dream, you're at the mercy of whatever life throws your way. But with a dream, you can navigate through the hard times. You can see beyond the obstacles, and that vision is what helps you keep moving. A dream helps you push through the challenges rather than giving up when things don't go the way you want. When you're stuck, it feels like there's no way forward. You feel like you're trapped, like you've hit a wall. But when you have a dream, the wall doesn't seem as high. You start seeing ways to climb over it or go around it. You stop seeing problems as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. Every difficulty becomes a lesson, every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow. But the catch is, you have to know what you're working for. You have to have that dream. Without it, it's like being in a car with no destination. You might be moving, but you don't know where you're headed. And that's the difference a dream makes. It gives you a map, a plan, a purpose. You don't just wake up and go through the motions, you wake up with intention. And let's face it, we've all been there. We've all been in a place where we felt stuck, where we weren't sure what we were doing or where we were going. It's frustrating. It can be exhausting. And it's easy to start doubting yourself, thinking, maybe this is as good as it gets. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to stay stuck. You can make a change. You can find your dream, and you can start working toward it. The minute you do, everything changes. You stop feeling like you're stuck in the same place and you start feeling like you're moving towards something better. Now, I know it's not always easy to find that dream. It can take time, and sometimes you'll feel like you're searching for something that doesn't exist. But let me tell you this, your dream is already within you. It's just waiting to be discovered. It's that thing that excites you. That thing that makes you feel alive. It's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning with purpose. It's the thing that makes you feel like your life has meaning. And if you don't have a dream right now, don't worry. Take the time to figure out what excites you. What are you passionate about? What do you love doing? What do you want your life to look like? Don't be afraid to dream big. Don't limit yourself based on what's possible right now. Dream about what could be. Dream about what you want to create, who you want to become, and where you want to go. Because here's the truth, when you have a dream, you don't stay stuck. You don't get bogged down by the little things that seem important in the moment. You don't let the challenges stop you. Instead, you start looking at everything in your life as a part of your journey. You start seeing the struggles as opportunities, the setbacks as lessons, and the obstacles as chances to get better. Life without a dream is like walking around in circles. It feels like you're going somewhere, but in reality, you're not getting anywhere. But when you have a dream, everything changes. You start moving with purpose. You start taking action. You stop feeling like you're stuck and you start feeling like you're making progress. So ask yourself today, what's your dream? What's the thing that excites you? What's the reason you want to get up every morning and make the most of your day? And if you don't have a dream yet, that's okay. Take the time to find it. Don't settle for a life that feels stuck. Don't settle for just existing. Your dream is waiting for you, and when you find it, everything will start to change. Don't waste another day feeling stuck. Get out there and chase your dream. Life is too short to live without one. 4. Dreams show you what you're capable of. A dream has this incredible power to reveal to you the strength, the courage, and the skills you never knew you had. It opens up your world to possibilities and shows you that you're capable of so much more than you ever imagined. Think about it. When you're working towards something important, something that matters to you, you suddenly find energy and drive you didn't know existed. You push yourself harder. You go further. You try things you've never tried before. And through that process, you discover what you're truly made of. Without a dream, it's easy to fall into a routine. You get comfortable doing the same things, the same way, day after day. But that routine doesn't challenge you. It doesn't push you to grow. It just keeps you where you are. But when you have a dream, it's like someone flips a switch. Suddenly, you're motivated. You're driven. You're willing to take risks. You're willing to step out of your comfort zone and try new things. And when you do that, you start to realize something important: you are capable of so much more than you thought. A dream challenges you to dig deep inside yourself. It asks you to reach beyond what's familiar, beyond what feels safe. And in doing that, it forces you to grow. You begin to develop skills you didn't know you had. You begin to learn lessons you didn't expect to learn. And most importantly, you begin to realize your own potential. If you've ever achieved something you thought was out of your reach, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe it was a project at work. Maybe it was a personal goal like running a race or learning a new skill. Whatever it was, when you achieved it, you probably looked back and thought, I didn't even know I could do that. That's the power of a dream. It pushes you to become more than you were before. It helps you realize that you are capable of so much more than you thought. And when you start seeing your own potential, that's when things begin to change. Let's talk about the kind of growth I'm referring to. When you don't have a dream, you're in a kind of survival mode. You're just getting by. But when you start working towards something, that's when you step into a higher level of growth. You don't just learn new things, you transform. You grow in ways you didn't expect. You start to see yourself differently. For example, maybe you set a goal to become a better public speaker. At first, it's scary. You don't know what to expect. You feel unsure of yourself. But as you keep practicing, as you keep pushing forward, you start to get better. You start to see that you're more capable than you thought. You start to realize that you can handle things you once thought were impossible. That's what dreams do. They show you your own capability. They take you beyond what you thought you could do. And once you see what you're capable of, you realize that the sky is the limit. There's nothing you can't do if you're willing to work for it and stay committed to the process. Now, let's be clear. Dreams aren't always easy. They're not handed to you on a silver platter. There's work involved. There are obstacles. There are times when it feels like you're not making any progress at all. But that's the beauty of it. Every step, every challenge, every setback is showing you what you're capable of. If you're willing to push through, you will come out the other side stronger, more capable, and more confident. You'll start to see that the limits you once placed on yourself were only in your mind. You'll start to realize that you're capable of achieving things that once seemed impossible. Dreams make you stretch. They make you step up and be more than you were yesterday. And the best part? When you reach that next level, you'll realize that it's just the beginning. You'll want to keep growing. You'll want to keep achieving, and you'll know deep down that you have everything you need to keep going. But the key is having that dream. Without it, you'd never know what you're capable of. Without it, you'd stay stuck in that same comfortable routine, never pushing yourself beyond the limits you set. But when you have a dream, you take that first step into the unknown, and you begin to realize how much more you can do. Now, I want you to think about something for a moment. What's something you've always wanted to do but didn't think you could? Maybe it's something big like starting your own business, or maybe it's something smaller like learning a new language. Whatever it is, I want you to picture yourself working toward that goal. As you do that, imagine what would happen if you really committed to it. Imagine the skills you'd develop, the growth you'd experience, and the person you'd become in the process. That's what dreams do. They show you your potential. They help you grow into the person you were always meant to be. If you don't have a dream right now, it's time to find one. It's time to ask yourself what excites you, what challenges you, and what you're willing to work for. Because once you have that dream, you'll start to see just how capable you really are. The truth is, you're capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. A dream can unlock that potential. It can show you what you're made of. And once you see what you can do, nothing will hold you back. So, don't wait. Start today. Start believing in your own potential, and watch how far you can go. 5. Dreams turn ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Have you ever felt like you were living an ordinary life? Maybe you go through your days doing the same thing over and over, the same routine, the same work, the same everything. Sometimes, it feels like there's nothing extraordinary about the life you're living. You wonder if there's more to it than just the daily grind. But here's the thing, dreams have the power to turn even the most ordinary life into something extraordinary. Dreams are what make the difference between simply existing and truly living. They take you from just going through the motions to living with purpose, excitement, and fulfillment. When you have a dream, it's like your life suddenly has direction. You stop feeling like you're just drifting. You start waking up every day with a sense of purpose, knowing that you're working towards something meaningful. That's what makes life extraordinary. Think about it. Ordinary people with ordinary circumstances have changed the world. They've built businesses, created art, helped others, and made lasting impacts. These people didn't start with anything special, but they had a dream, a vision of something more. People can do extraordinary things. The truth is, we all have that potential. But without a dream, that potential remains hidden. A dream pushes you to step up, to work harder, and to become more than you were yesterday. It makes you think bigger, act bolder, and take risks you wouldn't normally take. You might think that only special people can live extraordinary lives, but that's simply not true. The difference between an ordinary and extraordinary life is having a dream and the willingness to pursue it, no matter what. Look at people who have achieved great things. They all started with something small, just like you. They had a dream that seemed out of reach, maybe even impossible at the time. But they took action. They worked tirelessly towards that dream, even when things were tough. Along the way, they became extraordinary people. It's not because they were born special, it's because they chose to chase a dream that truly mattered to them. What makes a life extraordinary isn't the circumstances you're born into. It's the way you choose to live your life. It's how you take your ordinary, day-to-day life and turn it into something special through your actions and your dreams. When you have a dream, your world starts to change. You begin to look at things differently. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as challenges to overcome. You begin to believe that no matter where you are right now, you can get to where you want to be. That belief is what turns ordinary into extraordinary. But dreams don't just change what you're working toward. They change who you are. When you're chasing a dream, you're constantly growing. You learn new things, develop new skills, and discover strengths you never knew you had. You start to see yourself as someone capable of achieving great things, and that change in how you see yourself is what makes your life extraordinary. I can tell you, it's not the people with the easiest lives who achieve the most. It's the ones who don't settle for ordinary. They are the ones with a vision, a dream that keeps them going when things get tough. They're the ones who refuse to accept that their life is just okay. They push themselves to create something greater, something extraordinary. Now, think about your own life. What's the dream you've been putting off? What's that thing that excites you, that makes you feel alive? That's your key to turning your life into something extraordinary. It doesn't matter where you are now, it matters where you're going. When you decide to chase that dream, everything starts to change. A dream can turn a job into a career, a hobby into a passion, and a regular person into a leader. It gives you something to work toward, something that makes all the hard work worth it. It gives you the strength to push through the hard times, knowing that there's something greater waiting on the other side. If you're feeling stuck in the ordinary, if you feel like life has become predictable, ask yourself, what do I want to do with my life? What's the dream that excites me? What's the one thing that could turn everything around? Don't settle for a life that feels just okay. You're capable of more, and a dream is what will unlock that potential. When you commit to a dream, you don't just change your own life. You change the lives of everyone around you. You become a source of inspiration to others, showing them that it's possible to turn an ordinary life into something extraordinary. You prove that it's not about what you start with, it's about what you're willing to do to make your dreams a reality. The road to your extraordinary life won't always be easy. There will be times when you doubt yourself, when you wonder if it's worth it. But that's the test. The people who live extraordinary lives are the ones who don't give up when things get tough. They keep pushing forward because their dream is worth it. If you're willing to do the same, you'll start to see the transformation in your own life. So, take a moment today and think about your dream. Don't let it fade into the background. Don't let the ordinary things of life distract you from what you really want. Your dream is what will turn your life into something extraordinary. It's what will push you to grow, to learn, and to become the person you're meant to be. The life you want is waiting for you. It's not out of reach, it's closer than you think. But you have to take the first step. You have to believe that you are capable of creating something extraordinary. You have to trust in the power of your dream, and most importantly, you have to take action to make it happen. When you do, you'll look back and realize that the dream wasn't just about achieving a goal. It was about transforming yourself into someone who can achieve anything. And that's what turns an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. So let's get started. What's your dream? What's the one thing that will make your life extraordinary? It's time to go after it, because you have everything inside you to make it happen. 1. Dreams make hard times worth it. Life isn't always smooth sailing. We all go through tough times, times when everything seems to be working against us. It could be a personal struggle, a financial hardship, a loss, or a period where things just aren't going right. It's easy to feel like throwing in the towel when things get hard, to want to give up and walk away. But here's the thing, dreams make those hard times worth it. When you have a dream, something bigger than just the moment, it changes your whole perspective on the struggles you face. The challenges become part of the journey toward something greater. Instead of focusing on the pain or the difficulty, you start seeing it as a stepping stone to something better. That's what makes the tough times worthwhile. A dream gives you a reason to keep going when you feel like quitting. It's like a light at the end of the tunnel, guiding you through the darkness. Without a dream, when things get tough, it's easy to lose hope. But when you have something you're working towards, something that really matters to you, it makes the hard times feel less like an end and more like a necessary part of the process. Think about it, every success story you've heard, every person who's achieved something incredible, they've all had to go through hard times. They've all faced obstacles that seemed impossible to overcome. But what kept them going? Their dream. The vision of what they were working toward was bigger than any setback or difficulty they faced. That's what allowed them to push through the hard times and come out stronger on the other side. Take a moment and think about your own struggles. What's been tough for you lately? Maybe it's a job you don't enjoy, or a personal challenge you're facing. Maybe it's something you've been working on for a long time and haven't seen the results yet. Whatever it is, think about how your dream could help you push through. When you have a dream, it gives you a sense of purpose that makes the tough times easier to bear. Imagine you're in the middle of a tough situation. Everything feels overwhelming, and it seems like there's no way out. But then you remember why you're doing what you're doing. You remember the dream you're working toward. Suddenly, the struggle doesn't feel so bad anymore. In fact, it feels like it's worth it. You know that this hardship is temporary, but your dream is long-term. The fight, the struggle, the difficulty, all of it becomes a small price to pay for the big picture. Having a dream doesn't mean that the hard times disappear. It doesn't mean life suddenly becomes easy. But what it does mean is that you have something to focus on, something that gives meaning to everything you're going through. It makes you feel like the hard times are part of your growth, part of your journey, and they're worth it because they're bringing you closer to the person you want to be and the life you want to live. Now, let's talk about resilience. Dreamers are resilient people. When you're working toward something that matters to you, you develop the strength to keep going even when things get tough. You don't just give up when you hit a roadblock. You find a way around it, through it, or over it. And with each obstacle you overcome, you become stronger and more capable. That's what dreams do. They build resilience in you. They help you face the hard times with a sense of purpose and a belief that you can make it through. It's easy to give up when things aren't going well. But having a dream gives you the strength to keep pushing forward. It gives you the drive to keep going even when you feel exhausted, frustrated, or defeated. Eventually, you'll look back at those hard times and realize they were the very thing that made your success possible. Without those challenges, without those struggles, you wouldn't have the strength or the wisdom to truly appreciate what you've achieved. The truth is, dreams make the hard times worth it because they give you perspective. They remind you that this struggle is just temporary. You're not stuck here forever, you're moving forward, and each day brings you closer to what you've envisioned. When you finally reach your goal, you'll look back at the tough times and be grateful for them. You'll see them for what they were, steps in your journey, lessons that taught you what you're truly capable of. Dreams also help you find meaning in what you're going through. When you're in the middle of a tough time, it can feel pointless. It can feel like you're just stuck in a cycle, spinning your wheels, getting nowhere. But when you have a dream, you see that the struggle isn't pointless. It's part of your growth. It's part of the path that leads to something greater. That shift in perspective is what makes the hard times bearable. When you know it's all part of the bigger picture, it's easier to stay committed, to keep pushing, and to believe that the best is yet to come. And here's something else, dreams can give you a sense of peace during hard times. They don't make the problems disappear, but they give you the confidence to face them, knowing that you have something to fight for. It makes you realize that no matter how hard things get, you have the strength to get through it because your dream is worth it. So, if you're going through a tough time right now, don't lose sight of your dream. Keep your eyes on the prize and remember why you're pushing forward. The hard times will pass, but the lessons you learn from them will stay with you. When you look back on this time, you'll realize that it was all worth it because it led you to the life you've always wanted. Hard times are inevitable, but dreams make them meaningful. They give you a reason to keep going, a reason to fight, a reason to endure. When you come out the other side stronger and wiser, you'll realize that every single moment of struggle was worth it. So, hold on to your dream. Let it be your guide through the tough times and watch how it transforms everything you go through into something worth experiencing. 2. Dreams give you something to be proud of. A dream gives you a sense of purpose and direction. It turns all of the effort and struggle into something meaningful. When you're working toward a dream, the pride you feel comes from knowing that you're doing something that matters. You're not just going through the motions, you're building something worthwhile, something that reflects who you are and what you're capable of. Think about a time when you worked hard for something and you finally achieved it. Maybe it was a goal you set for yourself, something you thought was beyond your reach at first. But with persistence, dedication, and focus, you made it happen. How did that feel? The pride you felt wasn't just about the result, it was about the journey. It was about knowing that you had given everything you had to reach that goal. That's what dreams do, they give you something to be proud of. Without a dream, it's easy to just go through life without much purpose. You might have a job, you might have responsibilities, but if you don't have something you're striving for, something that excites you and pushes you to be better, it can feel like you're just drifting. There's no sense of accomplishment, no sense of pride in what you're doing. But a dream changes that. It gives you something to aim for, something to be proud of, because when you're working toward it, every step you take brings you closer to realizing it. Now, I want you to think about the future. What's the dream that excites you? What's that thing you've always wanted to achieve, something that would make you stand tall and feel proud? Maybe it's a personal achievement, becoming a better version of yourself, or maybe it's something external, like starting a business, writing a book, or traveling the world. Whatever it is, that dream is your key to pride. It's what gives your life meaning, purpose, and direction. When you have a dream, every little victory along the way becomes something to be proud of. Each milestone, each step forward is a reflection of your hard work, your determination, and your belief in yourself. You start to see progress, and that progress fuels you to keep going. As you move closer to that dream, you start to realize just how much you've grown. You see how far you've come, and that's where the pride comes in. Let's say you're working on a goal that feels difficult. Maybe it's a career goal, a personal development goal, or something else that seems out of reach at first. It might feel overwhelming. There are moments when you doubt yourself, when you wonder if it's even possible. But then you take a step, and another. Before you know it, you're looking back at everything you've accomplished. You see the effort you've put in, the obstacles you've overcome, and the progress you've made. That's the pride that comes from chasing a dream. It's knowing that you've worked for it, that you've fought for it, and that you didn't give up when things got tough. Now, not every day is going to be easy. There will be challenges, and there will be times when you feel discouraged. But even during the tough times, a dream gives you something to hold on to. It gives you a reason to keep going. When you finally reach your goal, when you look back on everything you've been through, the pride you feel will be worth every struggle. Pride isn't about being boastful or showing off. It's about the quiet satisfaction that comes from knowing you've done something that matters. It's about looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I did this. I made it happen. That feeling, that deep sense of accomplishment, is what makes life meaningful. And here's the best part, when you achieve your dream, it's not just about you. The pride you feel is contagious. It inspires others. It shows them what's possible. When people see you pursuing your dream and achieving it, they begin to believe that they can do the same. That's the power of a dream. It doesn't just give you something to be proud of, it gives others the belief that they can create their own success too. Now, think about the legacy you want to leave. The things you accomplish in life, the dreams you chase, are a reflection of who you are. They're your contribution to the world. When you're proud of what you've achieved, it leaves a lasting impact. It shows that you are willing to put in the work, take the risks, and fight for what you believed in. It shows that you didn't settle for a life of mediocrity, but instead, you pursued something that was worth the effort. And that kind of legacy is something you can be truly proud of. But don't wait for the dream to just fall into place. It's up to you to decide what you want to achieve. You have to take action, set goals, and make it happen. The pride you'll feel when you accomplish something you've worked for, something that truly matters to you, will be one of the most rewarding feelings you'll ever experience. So, what is it that you want to be proud of? What's that dream that excites you, that gives you something to reach for? Whatever it is, go after it with everything you have. When you achieve that dream, you'll look back and know that it was all worth it, and that sense of pride will stay with you forever. When you have a dream, you're not just living day to day. You're building something, growing into something, and becoming someone who can truly be proud of the life they've created. And that's a feeling you can carry with you forever. 3. Dreams give you something to fight for. There's a saying, without a fight, there's no victory. The truth is, in life, we're all going to face challenges. We're all going to encounter obstacles that seem too big to overcome. Sometimes, it can feel like the world is throwing everything it has at us. In those moments, it's easy to want to give up, to throw in the towel and walk away. But when you have a dream, when you have something bigger than yourself to fight for, everything changes. A dream gives you a reason to keep going even when things get tough. It gives you something to fight for. It gives you the strength to keep pushing forward when everything in you is telling you to quit. That's where the real power lies, knowing that you have something worth fighting for. Think about the things that matter most to you in life. What are the things that you care about deeply? What's the dream that gets you out of bed in the morning? Maybe it's building a better future for your family, starting a business that's going to change the world, or becoming the best version of yourself. Whatever it is, that's what you're fighting for. That's what gives you the strength to face every challenge and to push through every obstacle. Life isn't easy. If you've been around long enough, you know that it's full of ups and downs, highs and lows. When you're in the middle of the struggle, it can feel like you're all alone. It can feel like the odds are stacked against you, like there's no way out. But when you have a dream, you know that the struggle isn't meaningless. The fight isn't in vain. The challenges you're facing are simply part of the process. They're part of what makes you stronger, more resilient, and more prepared for what's ahead. Having a dream gives you the motivation to fight through the hard times. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about overcoming the obstacles that come your way and coming out on top. A dream helps you see that the fight is worth it. It's worth every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every setback, because the end result is something you believe in with your whole heart. Now, think about what happens when you don't have a dream. When you're just going through the motions, living day by day without anything to strive for, it's easy to feel stuck. You're not fighting for anything, you're just existing. That can be one of the most painful feelings in the world, feeling like you're not really living, like you don't have a purpose. Without a dream, there's nothing that pulls you forward. There's nothing that inspires you to keep going when things get tough. But when you have a dream, everything changes. You have something to fight for. You have something to aim for, something that gives your life direction and meaning. And that sense of purpose is powerful. It keeps you focused, it keeps you motivated, and it gives you the strength to keep fighting even when the road is hard. You've probably heard stories of people who have gone through incredible hardships and still managed to succeed. They faced obstacles that would have knocked most people down, but they didn't give up. Why? Because they had a dream. They had something bigger than themselves to fight for. They were fighting for their vision, for their future, for their family, for their purpose. And that's what gave them the strength to keep going when everything else seemed impossible. When you're fighting for something you believe in, you're not just fighting for yourself. You're fighting for your future, for your legacy, for the people you care about. A dream gives you a reason to endure. It reminds you that the struggle is temporary, but the reward is worth it. The fight becomes easier when you know that the end result will be something that truly matters to you. But here's the thing, fighting for your dream isn't always going to be easy. There will be times when you feel like giving up. There will be times when the obstacles seem insurmountable, when you feel exhausted and frustrated. But when you have something to fight for, you push through. You dig deeper. You find the strength you didn't know you had. And that's what makes all the difference. A dream helps you build resilience. It teaches you that setbacks aren't the end, they're just part of the process. Each time you get knocked down, you get back up stronger. Each time you face an obstacle, you find a way to overcome it. That's how you grow. That's how you achieve your dreams. It's not about being perfect or never failing. It's about getting up every time you fall, about pushing through when it feels like there's no way forward. Having a dream also gives you clarity. When you know what you're fighting for, when you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, it's easier to stay focused. You don't get distracted by the small things or the temporary setbacks. You keep your eyes on the prize. And when things get tough, you remind yourself that this fight is worth it. It's worth every bit of effort, every bit of sacrifice. So, what is your dream? What is it that you're fighting for? Maybe it's a goal you've been putting off, something you've always wanted to achieve but never had the courage to go after. Perhaps it's a personal change you want to make in your life. Whatever it is, now is the time to fight for it. Now is the time to commit to your dream and go after it with everything you've got. Because when you have a dream, you have a reason to fight. And when you fight for your dream, you build the strength, the resilience, and the character to overcome anything that comes your way. You start to see yourself in a new light. Not as someone who is simply surviving life, but as someone who is actively shaping their future. You begin to see that the fight was never in vain. It was part of what made you stronger, wiser, and more capable. When you have something to fight for, you don't just go through life, you live it. You embrace every challenge, every setback, and every victory because you know they're all part of the process. And when you achieve your dream, when you look back at the battles you fought and the obstacles you've overcome, you'll realize that the fight was worth it. Because in the end, it's not just about reaching the destination, it's about the person you become along the way. So, get clear on your dream, make it real, and fight for it every single day. Know that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. Dreams help you take control of your life. Have you ever felt like life is just happening to you, like things are out of your control and you're just along for the ride, hoping it turns out okay? It's a feeling a lot of us know all too well. You wake up, go through the motions, and before you know it, another day has passed. The truth is, when you don't have a dream, it's easy to feel like life is happening to you rather than for you. But when you have a dream, when you have something you're striving for, everything changes. Your dream becomes the key that unlocks your power to take control of your life. Having a dream doesn't just give you something to work toward, it gives you a sense of direction. It's like having a map for your journey through life. Without that map, you might wander aimlessly, unsure of where you're going or how to get there. But with a dream, you know exactly where you're headed, and that clarity allows you to take control of your actions, your decisions, and your future. Think about it. When you have a dream, every choice you make becomes easier. You start to see the bigger picture. You're no longer just reacting to life as it comes at you, you're making decisions that align with your goals, your values, and your vision. And that's how you take control. When you know what you want, when you have a dream that excites and motivates you, you stop letting life push you around. You start pushing back. You begin to create the life you want, one decision at a time. Now, I know that sometimes life feels unpredictable. There are moments when things don't go according to plan, and that can be frustrating. You might face challenges that seem impossible to overcome. But here's the key, your dream gives you the resilience to handle those setbacks. It helps you stay focused, stay grounded, and keep moving forward, even when things don't go perfectly. Because when you have a dream, you're not just reacting to what happens to you, you're actively shaping your future, even when life throws curveballs. One of the most powerful things about having a dream is that it forces you to take responsibility for your life. When you don't have a dream, it's easy to blame other people or circumstances for where you are. You might feel like you're stuck in a situation you can't change. But when you have a dream, you realize that you're the one in charge. You realize that you have the power to make changes, take risks, and create the life you desire. Your dream empowers you to stop waiting for the perfect moment or for someone else to change things for you. It gives you the courage to take action, even when it feels uncertain. Taking control doesn't mean you're always going to have all the answers. It doesn't mean you won't make mistakes along the way. But it does mean you're choosing to take responsibility for your life. You're not waiting for life to hand you what you want, you're going out and getting it. That's what having a dream does. It gives you the confidence to take action, the drive to keep going, and the clarity to make the right decisions. And let's be honest, life can be tough. There are times when you feel like you're up against a wall, when things seem out of your hands. But with a dream, you have a reason to push through. You have something bigger than the obstacles to keep you going. Your dream becomes the force that pulls you forward, even when it feels like everything is working against you. It's that dream that keeps you moving, keeps you fighting, and keeps you in control of your own destiny. When you don't have a dream, it's easy to feel like a victim. You might feel like everything is happening to you, like you have no control over your life. But when you have a dream, you realize that you're not a victim, you're the creator of your own reality. You realize that you can choose how you respond to the challenges you face. You can choose to see them as opportunities for growth, as stepping stones on the way to your dream. Now, taking control of your life doesn't happen overnight, it's a process. But when you start with a dream, you're taking the first step toward creating the life you want. You're saying, I'm in charge. I'm going to make this happen. And with each step you take toward that dream, you gain more confidence, more clarity, and more control over your future. So, how do you take control of your life with a dream? First, get clear on what you want. What's your dream? What's that thing that excites you, that motivates you to get up and take action? Once you know what it is, start setting goals. Break your dream down into smaller, achievable steps. And then, take consistent action every day toward those goals. When you do this, you're no longer just letting life happen to you, you're making life happen on your terms. Having a dream gives you the courage to make decisions that align with your vision. It helps you see past the immediate distractions and stay focused on what matters. It helps you build the habits and mindset that will move you closer to your goals. And as you take action, you start to see results. You begin to realize that you have the power to shape your life, to create the future you want. That sense of control is one of the most empowering feelings you'll ever experience. But here's the thing, taking control doesn't mean you won't face challenges. You will. Life will still throw curveballs at you. But when you have a dream, you're equipped to handle those challenges. You'll have the resilience to keep going, the clarity to make the right choices, and the determination to stay on track. And when you look back on your journey, you'll see that each challenge, each setback, was just a part of the process of taking control of your life and creating the future you dreamed of. Remember, dreams are not just about what you want to achieve, they're about who you become in the process. The dream is what drives you, what pushes you to take action, to take control of your life. And the journey toward that dream is where you find your true power. You don't have to wait for life to give you what you want. With a dream, you have the power to go out and make it happen. So, take a step back and ask yourself, what do you want your life to look like? What's the dream that excites you, that fuels your passion, and that pushes you to take control of your future? Don't wait for things to change. Go out and create the change. Because when you have a dream, you have the power to take control of your life and make it everything you've ever wanted. Dreams bring out your creativity. When you have a dream, something magical happens inside you. It's like the doors of your mind suddenly open up and all these ideas, possibilities, and solutions start pouring in. That's the power of a dream. Dreams spark your creativity, they push you to think outside the box, to come up with new ideas and to find innovative ways to make your vision come to life. Creativity isn't just about painting a picture or writing a song. It's about finding new ways to solve problems, to break through barriers, and to make things happen. And when you have a dream, it taps into that creative energy that you never even knew you had. Think about it. Every successful person you look up to, every inventor, every entrepreneur, every artist, they all had a dream. And that dream was the spark that ignited their creativity. It was the driving force that helped them come up with ideas that no one had ever thought of before. When you have a dream, your mind works differently. You start looking at challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to be creative, to innovate, and to find new solutions. Let me give you a simple example. Think about the last time you faced a challenge. Maybe it was something at work or a problem in your personal life. When you didn't have a clear dream or goal, how did you approach it? You might have felt stuck, unsure of how to move forward. But when you have a dream in your heart, things change. You start seeing that problem as just another step toward your bigger goal. Your creativity kicks in, and suddenly you're looking at the problem from different angles, coming up with ideas and solutions that you didn't see before. And that's the power of having a dream, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities for you. Creativity isn't just about coming up with big, groundbreaking ideas. It's about the small, everyday ways you find to make progress toward your dream. It's about looking at your current situation and thinking, how can I make this work better? What can I do differently today that will move me closer to my goal? When you have a dream, you start seeing every moment as an opportunity to get creative. Whether it's figuring out how to improve your daily routine or finding new ways to connect with others, your creativity flows when you're working towards something meaningful. And it's not just about solving problems, it's about seeing the potential in everything. Having a dream makes you more open to new ideas, more willing to take risks, and more excited to experiment. The creative process is about trying things, making mistakes, and learning from them. When you're chasing a dream, you're not afraid to fail. You're not afraid to try new things because you know that every failure is just another step towards success. Each setback is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come up with even more creative solutions. But here's the thing, creativity doesn't just come from what you already know. It comes from your experiences, your dreams, and your willingness to learn. Dreams push you to step outside your comfort zone, to go after things you might not have thought possible. And in doing so, They open up new ways of thinking, new paths for creativity to flow. When you're constantly chasing a dream, you're constantly learning and growing. That's where your creativity thrives. When you have a dream, you begin to see the world in a different way. You start to see the connections between things that you wouldn't have noticed before. You start to see how everything fits together in a bigger picture. And that's the key to creativity. It's not just about thinking outside the box, it's about seeing the whole box in a new light. When you're working towards something you care about, your mind starts to make connections that others might miss. You start to see patterns, solutions, and ideas that are hidden in plain sight. Creativity also comes from the energy and passion that a dream fuels inside of you. When you're excited about your dream, when you're passionate about what you're working toward, it's like a fire inside you. That energy spreads to everything you do. It makes you more focused, more driven, and more creative. You start to see opportunities everywhere you look. You begin to understand that creativity isn't just something that happens when you sit down to brainstorm, it's something that happens all around you, all the time, when you're working towards something that matters to you. Having a dream also means that you don't just accept the status quo. You don't just go through life doing things the same way because that's how they've always been done. You start to challenge the way things are and ask yourself, how can this be better? How can I do this differently? Dreams bring out your desire to improve, to create something new, to break free from the ordinary and reach for something extraordinary. And that's when creativity takes flight. You've probably noticed that the most creative people don't just have ideas, they act on them. They turn their dreams into reality by taking action and making things happen. And that's the key to unlocking your creativity, taking action. Dreams are only as powerful as the steps you take to make them real. So when you have a dream, don't just wait for inspiration to strike. Take action, try things, experiment. And in the process, you'll discover new ways to get closer to your dream. You'll find that the more you move toward your goal, the more creative solutions you'll uncover. And here's something really powerful about dreams and creativity, they're contagious. When you start living your dream, when you start taking action and pushing the limits of your creativity, it inspires others. People around you will start to see what's possible. They'll see the ways you've come up with to solve problems, to create new things, and to make your dream a reality. And that, in turn, sparks their own creativity. Dreams don't just bring out your creativity, they bring out the creativity of everyone around you, creating a ripple effect that spreads far beyond you. So, how can you tap into your creativity? It starts with having a dream. Get clear on what it is you want to achieve, and then let your creativity flow. Don't be afraid to try new things, to take risks, or to step outside your comfort zone. Allow yourself to make mistakes, learn, and grow. Embrace the challenges that come your way, because each one is an opportunity to get more creative, to think outside the box, and to come up with innovative solutions. And always remember, your creativity is limitless when you're chasing a dream. Don't just wait for inspiration, go out and create it. Your dream is the key to unlocking your creativity, and the world needs what you have to offer. When you bring your creativity to life, you're not just working toward your dream, you're changing the world one idea at a time. Here's the truth, without a dream, life can feel empty. But when you have one, everything changes. It gives you focus, drive, and a reason to keep moving forward no matter what comes your way. So, as we wrap this up, I want you to remember something. Your dream is yours for a reason. It's not too big, too small, or too late to start chasing it. Even the smallest step today can take you closer to it tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time is now. Go after what lights you up, because you're capable of so much more than you think. Thanks for being here, and I hope this inspires you to make your dream your reality. Keep going, you've got this.